So, Nintendo just updated Mario Kart World, and while unfortunately they didn't add any new characters, carts, or 200cc, or any new modes, they did drastically improve a couple aspects of this game by adding a couple new little features. And one of those things that I had a problem with in the base game was the fact that you weren't able to track your progress in free roam for anything other than the panels. I'm not sure if that was an intentional decision back when the game released, but they thankfully fixed that by showing all the P-switches that you've done missions for, as well as all the Peach coins that you've collected. This is really nice to have, and it definitely makes 100%ing this game a lot better. I feel like it's such a small change, but at the same time, this is such a drastic improvement as well. Like, since you now don't have to completely just roam around aimlessly trying to find P-switches and Peach coins, so this is really nice. And one other thing that they kind of added to this as well is the fact that you could teleport to any of them. So, like, let's say I want to go, like, over here, near Bowser's Castle. So I can just teleport to it. And then in a second, I'll pop up right there. So, pretty cool. Definitely pretty convenient for, like, kind of teleporting to a certain part of the world. Kind of like the shrines in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Again, something that should have been here from the start, but still a welcome feature regardless. There's also another thing that they added to free roam, and it isn't necessarily bad, but it's also really weird. And that is the fact that you could use the UFO to transform into any character that you abduct with it. I mean, this is technically a way of unlocking characters in free roam now, and a way to unlock characters other than Kamek. But this is just the most Nintendo way of solving, like, the problem of only using Kamek to unlock characters. Because this is also just a really weird way of unlocking characters. You see, I'll transform into cow here. That is just so random. I don't know why. I mean, it's cool that they did that, and they should have done it anyway, but, like, why not have, like, other ways of unlocking characters in free roam? Like, why not have, like, different characters, like, spread throughout the world with different missions where you race against them on, like, different tracks in order to unlock them? I think that would have been a kind of a more efficient way of unlocking characters, because UFOs are just kind of random. That is, like, one of the only, like, fixed UFO locations there with that one P-switch mission. So you're just gonna have to get lucky if you want to use the UFO to transform into a certain character. And I guess it works in, like, races and Knockout Tour as well. But again, that is just as random as, like, getting Kamek. I guess it's not as bad as, like, hoping to be transformed into a certain character by Kamek, but still. Another thing that they added was increasing the frequency of 3-lap tracks. Now, this is one that's just a bit strange. Technically an improvement, but at the same time, it's not a full improvement, and it really isn't fixing the problem. Because it would have been nice to have the option to choose between 3-lap tracks or three-lap tracks with the connector routes. I'm just going to call them connector routes because intermission is technically not the right term for them. But yeah, see, it actually gives us, like, an option. So I think that's going to pop up more frequently now, which is pretty nice. Yeah, I see most people are picking it here. But I think that is nice that they're making it a little more likely for 3-lap tracks to show up. But at the same time, this is not an issue that needs to be improved. It's an issue that needs to be fixed entirely by, like, giving you, like, the option to switch between the two. So unfortunately, it didn't pick the 3-lap track, which kind of highlights my point of them not really fixing the issue. But I kind of wanted to talk about this update a little bit, because this was more substantial than prior updates, which is pretty interesting. Before, I know they kind of tweaked, like, how often, like, the 3-lap tracks would appear, like, it did weird things like that. I know there was like kind of a lot of backlash behind some of the updates, despite them kind of being fairly small in the grand scheme of things. But this one was definitely more noticeable. It did fix more issues. I don't think it created any more issues, which I guess is a slight improvement from the other updates, but I'm hoping that this update being a little more substantial is a sign that they're going to support this game a little more. Because I'm really hoping they do add a bit of content to this game. I understand if it's, like, not things like new tracks, because that would be kind of hard to implement if it isn't, like, a full-blown DLC release. But things like new characters would be nice. Like, I know there's, like, a lot of speculation behind, like, Donkey Kong characters being added, and it just makes so much sense, considering, like, the lack of costumes that DK and Pauline have. So, I'm just really hoping there's something sometime soon, because they seemingly didn't do anything for the Mario anniversary, which is kind of unfortunate. But this update definitely did improve some things, and I'm glad that it did, even though a lot of these things should have been fixed at launch. But yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments. So anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and make sure to check out my Discord server and Blue Sky if you want to. Stay perky!